And welcome to another episode of Judgment Day. I'm
Dun,
host
dun,
Matt
dun.
Rebar. I'm here with my other jury members, Raina Butel and Logan Molnar, and we are going to read another juicy Reddit post and decree, is the person the asshole? Are they not the asshole? Maybe everyone is the asshole, or maybe no assholes to be spotted. So let's jump right into this. Am I the asshole for giving my girlfriend's college friends? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of keywords.
Hello?
Am I the asshole for giving my girlfriend's college friend nicknames after he kept being disrespectful to my girlfriend?
Hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think from the title, we're like, stand up for your girl. We like that. But let's get into this.
Let's do it.
So, my girlfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years and are in the process of moving in together. Due to the whole 2020 thing, we haven't met a lot of each other's friends yet. This past weekend, we went to a cabin with a bunch of her college friends who I hadn't met. During the weekend, there was a lot of drinking and a lot of old inside jokes amongst the friend group that I wasn't privy to. The group seemed like good people for the most part, but there was one thing that a couple guys did that rubbed me the wrong way. My girlfriend has a fairly large chest, and these guys were calling her a nickname, Tits McGee.
Oh, that's so unnecessary. That's cruel.
First of all, I love how he said it rhymes with Bits McPhee on the Reddit, so it didn't get banned. That's really funny. But Tits McGee is the nickname for the girlfriend. At the first few times, I kind of raised my eyebrows and looked at my girlfriend, and she told me it's just an old nickname. It's harmless. They don't mean anything by it. But it was constant every time they referred to her. And at some point during the day Saturday, I had had enough of it. Yeah, this is the kind of nickname that, like, really, like, after 3 uses, I'm like, ugh,
Yeah. I mean, it's not very original. It's
no.
not very clever. It's it's yeah, that's come on, guys. Do
Yeah,
better.
it just feels, and like it she
Also,
I feel like the girlfriend, like, this is the kind of girl, like, stand up, please stand up for yourself. Don't let these boys get away with this behavior for years. It seems like this has been, oh, boys will be boys. No, boys will be
yeah.
men, and these men will be human who will do the right thing if you let them, if you hold them to accountability. So
But that sucks
anywho.
that you have to be like, "Hey, don't be a terrible person," you know? Like just people should not be a terrible person.
I mean, the whole podcast is based on terrible people, so we
That
kind of
is
need
true.
them for this
We
podcast.
All right, guys, carry on.
We need a flux of terrible people ASAP for this. So we were playing yard games, and one of the guys who kept calling my girlfriend the name Tits McGee took his hat off, and I noticed he had a very thinning hair with a noticeable bald spot. Ooh. So
Get
after
him.
a few more times of him calling my girlfriend Tits McGee, I started calling him male pattern baldness. The
Oh,
game,
God.
well, to be fair, he started calling him MPB, and so he was confused with what it meant. And so the boyfriend says, oh, MPB is male pattern baldness. A lot of the group started laughing, but the guy got really red in the face and looked pissed and embarrassed. After the game finished, we went to shake hands, and he muttered something under his breath about me being a fucking asshole, but I just brushed it off. My girlfriend wasn't nearby when it happened, but someone must have told her about it because she asked me about it. She told me that I shouldn't have said anything to her friend because he's very insecure about his hair loss, and I was wrong to make fun of him for it. I told her I was tired of them being disrespectful to her, and if they can't take it, they shouldn't dish it out. She told me she can take care of herself, and these are her friends, and she doesn't need me to defend her from them. The whole thing put a damper on the rest of the weekend, and my girlfriend has been icy to me since. I understand they are her friends, but this guy in particular just wouldn't stop, and I felt like I had to do something. Whew. Where do we begin?
I feel like those are the nicknames you adopt when you're bullied and you want
Hmm.
people to not bully you more. So you have to internalize that and embrace it, or you don't want to be the one that's like, hey, stop it. When in
Yeah.
reality, those people should stop.
Mm,
Like, and they know that too. So, naturally they'll get defensive by using those names, like, oh, what, we've been calling her that for years, kind of thing. It's very plainly hurtful, even if it's like, oh, I laugh at it too. Well, sometimes people find things that are self-deprecating, or like they might find that funny, sure, but underneath that layer,
mhm.
they know it's meant to hurt them, or they know it is hurtful, whether or not they take it as that. It is not nice. It's mocking.
Yeah. I definitely think that it's like you want to roll with it so you have friends kind of situation. Especially in college, like, you know, maybe she became friends with them her freshman year. It's hard to make friends. So if someone's there and then, you know, adopts this nickname, like when you first meet them to try and be funny, you're like, oh, haha, you know, you want to make those friends, you want to keep those friends. You don't want to be the like down quote downer. Not that you are, but like to be like, hey, like that really hurts my feelings. They'd be like, oh, we're just messing with you. That, you know, it's fine. So, but I definitely think that calling him MPD is funny.
Yeah, the boyfriend would have picked up on that. He would have picked up on that to go to her aid that way. Because if it, you know, if he didn't feel like it was necessary, I feel like he would not have caused a rift with people he doesn't know for no reason. You know,
Yeah, agree.
he was willing to cost his first impression. You know, he did that at the expense of, you know, wanting those people wanting to hang out with him again because they had not met before.
Yeah.
Here's, you know, usually when it comes to fighting fire with fire, I do think that behavior sometimes is justified, even though, you know, you are kind of using violence to end violence, right? Here's the problem, though. It doesn't seem like they tried to stop fire with water first. Usually when you get to a point where you're using that fire to stop fire, that violence to stop violence, the, you know, insults to stop insults, you've already addressed, I don't like this, stop doing this. But to me, it seems like the girlfriend's been letting this slide. It doesn't even seem like he said anything either. It just seems like he kept hearing it and was like, this is stupid. I'm going to say something. And by saying something, I'm going directly to that shooting gallery and not trying to be like, dude, stop it. Because to me, if it had been made clear multiple times, which to me in this post doesn't seem like it was made clear to him. It seems like it was just accepted behavior. It was all good. And then MPB came out of nowhere, right? You're like, dude, stop it, stop it, stop it. And he's still going. I think this would be 100% justified. But I can't help but be feeling, everyone kind of sucks here. More so the bald guy. The Tits McGee thing is like so 2002. It's like, I feel like I'm back with Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, and Britney Spears in the convertible. Like that's how 2002 I feel, right?
God bless.
So I don't even know if that happened in 2002. But anywho, but there's just something about how, you know, it went from 0 to 60, and it's like, did you even try to do a 35 or a 40 real quick? So that's what makes me feel very unsure about this.
But
This
see,
is
how do
why
you
always? Oh my god,
You two are so
sorry.
in sync. I love it.
how do you like meet new people and like, you know, try to bring the whole like week or however long they're there for down by like trying to have a conversation, be like, hey, let's talk about this. So I think he was just trying to keep things light by like bringing that same energy. So I think I can understand that.
See, but it doesn't feel like it. Definitely feels like he
Well, not like,
is
but
trying to cut. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he wanted to like have a sit down and be like, "Hey guys, like, why do you call her that? Like, I don't think that's very nice." Like, well, I mean, obviously there's probably a reason why they call her that, but you know, like, why are you guys like, you know, I don't know. I think he was just trying to keep that energy.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I think you can address something like this without making it like, oh, let's have tea and crumpets and dissect it. You could just be like, hey, can you not call her that? Like, you know, just we're 24 or whatever now. Like, let's just, you know, I don't know. But then again, like the way I approach things, like some people make a big deal out of everything. You know, maybe some people would have done the whole sit down thing. I would have just been like, hey, can we stop? And hope that that's good enough. So, Raina, what do you think?
I'm just gonna say, this is why you're juror number 1, because you remember all the details and you're so good at like refocusing the thing at hand. I think you're totally right. There was no effort to, you know, put that fire out before you threw the match in and poured gasoline on it. So that's definitely a huge factor in this equation because we don't know if they would have stopped or if somebody else in the group would have chimed in and be like, yeah, you know, I really hate that you call her that also. Mm-hmm. It would be awkward to have a discussion, but I definitely can understand why you would be immediately on the defensive if people you don't know were calling your girlfriend what you would interpret, and I feel like most people would interpret as, you know, disrespectful language. But to an extent, I mean, there is like a relationship that they have that you don't understand, but the onus is on you to try to understand that before you jump, you know, like jump to the nuclear option, which would be mocking that person back. So
I also think that the nickname is very inappropriate to like continue to call in front of her new boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we talk about your girlfriend's tits all the time, you know, like it's just, it feels very ick. And so I think those guys maybe need to have a few lessons in like manners and things not to do, because that just feels extremely gross that they're not only continuing to call her that, but doing it in front of her significant other too.
Well, what do we think? What's our judgments here?
I'm gonna go not the asshole.
Okay.
I respect, I mean, I don't think name calling is very nice. Let me put that out there. Yeah. I do think the names are funny because I'm 12. But I just think, you know, he's trying to be like, hey, here's how it feels. Here, you know, I think it was kind of justified. So I'm going to say not the asshole.
Raina, what do you think?
I'm going to say everybody sucks here, but one person sucks a lot more than the other one.
It's Mr. MPD.
Yeah, just because...
or B, sorry.
It kind of sucks that you made the situation worse.
Yeah.
But it definitely came from a good place, a well-intentioned place. But similar to situations we've covered before, now you're putting the person you were trying to protect, or the person you're putting someone you love in the middle of something that you put them into and they didn't have an option. Yeah. You know, if he had pulled her aside and been like, hey, I really want to defend you, she'd be like, no, don't do it. Or she'd be like, yeah, you know, that kind of does hurt my feelings. That, you know, this kind of sucks every time I see these people. They say this. I don't know what to do. So he's kind of like, he sucks a tiny bit just for putting her in an uncomfortable position. But yeah, obviously the guy, going back to like way back throwback language, he's a total douche canoe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, can you believe people in my high school said that like all the time? I'm like,
I have a song.
So weird.
I made a song back in college called Douche Canoe. So
really?
It's not that great, but I can link you later. I'll link you in the comments.
Yes,
send it.
So here's where I land. If he had tried to point out the behavior or pull him aside and be like, hey, stop it, whatever, and this guy continued, absolutely not the asshole. You're fighting fire with fire at the point where water doesn't work. Doesn't seem like any of that happened. That's why I got to go with everyone sucks here. Although I do agree with Raina, male power and baldness probably sucks the most. What do we think the thread said, though?
I think thread said not the asshole.
Yeah, okay. I think they're gonna agree and say like, hey, you were kind of in the right to defend her somehow, but yeah, so not the asshole.
Well, guess what? The thread said asshole.
Are you serious?
I know. Wow. This is really shocking. The top comment, you know, you're the asshole. Lots of guys, especially younger ones, are insecure about their receding hairline. On the other hand, your girlfriend doesn't seem to be insecure about her chest or the nickname that her friends call her. It seems like you're the one who has a problem that doesn't give you any right to mock her friends. However, or edit, also you say he was being disrespectful towards your girlfriend. However, it doesn't seem like she felt disrespected. Are you sure it wasn't you who felt disrespected? And that's what a lot of the comments, well, the second one says, second most rated says, everyone sucks here. It's not your job to tell your girlfriend how she should feel about something, which makes sense. You went with ill intent, and that sucks on its own. But at the same time, you know, you are standing up to someone who's, you know, maybe having behavior against women that is inappropriate. Third one said, nope, not the asshole. People who tease and talk shit better have thick skin. And as for other friends, they laughed. I wonder how many of them have been given a nickname by this bro and love seeing him being taken. Do we want a little update?
Yes.
Okay. So my girlfriend and I talked, and I apologized for overstepping. Told her she was right. It wasn't my place. I told her I was wrong to act on that feeling. She accepted the apology. She told me she didn't date in college and that the nickname was something she grew to tolerate. She doesn't even think about the nickname anymore, but she knows it's degrading and unnecessarily sexual in nature, but she's just accustomed to it so that she never thought it'd be an issue to a partner. She also apologized for making me feel bad about making fun of her friend because she knows he could be a blowhard jerk frat boy and deserve to be taken down a peg. But also, I don't really feel that bad for him being insecure about balding if he's going to make a point to talk about other people's bodies. So he said communication works out, relationship's good. Yeah, that's a fair point. It seems like she's just become normalized to it and maybe starting to realize like, ooh,
yeah,
good.
Yeah, sometimes like things just happen in life and you're like, oh, that's just the way things are, but it shouldn't always be like that because sometimes someone's got to say something every once in a while.
And I'll say it again, kindness is free, baby. You don't have to call your busty girl Tits McGee. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, like she's looking like your breasts are looking great today. That's one thing, but like Tits McGee, like, oh my God.
It's meant to be hurtful, which sucks.
I agree. It's not the nickname is malicious to me. So
Agreed.
It is kind of funny though. I would never laugh if someone in real life was called Tits Mickey, but just it's silly.
When we have the Starbolt Studios Christmas party in December, you can come wearing a shirt that says Tits McGee.
Amazing.
That'll be your costume for the Christmas party.
Whoever doesn't understand the reference doesn't watch our podcast and they suck.
They're like, I'm sorry, where is it available again? Everywhere.
Everywhere. Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, all your other
anywhere
streaming.
else you get your podcasts from.
And anywhere else. Absolutely. Wow. Judgment has been decreed. Thank you guys so much for joining again. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.